Have you ever stopped to consider who you really are in the digital world? As we step into this era of hyperconnectivity, our identities are no longer confined to the physical realm. Instead, they extend, morph, and sometimes even fragment across the vast digital landscape. This is the enigma of digital identity. It's an intricate web of our online activities, social media interactions, and the data we leave behind. It's a reflection and at times a distortion of who we are. But with this digital expansion of self comes a host of complexities and implications. We find our privacy eroding, our sense of authenticity wavering, and the lines between our virtual and real identities blurring. This is more than just a tech phenomenon. It's a digital identity crisis that impacts how we perceive ourselves, how others perceive us, and how we navigate this interconnected world. Let's dive into the depths of this digital identity crisis. In our digital world, every click, every post, every search is a breadcrumb, but where do these breadcrumbs lead? Each time we go online, we leave behind a trail of digital breadcrumbs. These breadcrumbs, while seemingly insignificant, collectively form a detailed picture of our habits, preferences, associations, and even our deepest thoughts. Our online activities, from the innocuous to the intimate, are constantly being tracked, analyzed, and stored. This vast collection of data is a goldmine for businesses, advertisers, and sometimes less savory characters. The erosion of privacy in this digital era is a concerning reality. Our personal information, once considered sacrosanct, is now freely available to those with the means and intent to access it. This raises profound questions about our personal identity. Are we merely the sum of our digital footprints, or is there more to our identities than what our online activities reveal? Privacy, once lost, is hard to regain. How much of yours have you unknowingly given away? In a world of filters and curated realities, what does authenticity even mean? It's a question that looms large in this digital era where we often project an idealized version of ourselves. Our digital personas, meticulously crafted, often paint a picture that's far removed from our true selves. We're lured into a chase for perfection, driven by the fear of being less than the person next to us on the timeline. Authenticity, once a simple reflection of our true selves, has become a complex puzzle. It's a dance between the real and the virtual, between who we are and who we appear to be. The lines blur and we're left questioning, what's real, what's staged, and more importantly, who are we really? This quest for authenticity in the digital age is a journey of self-discovery. It's about embracing our imperfections, celebrating our uniqueness, and resisting the pressure to conform. When reality and the digital blur, can we still find our authentic selves? Are you the same person online as you are offline? This question dances on the line between our virtual identities and our real-life personas. In the digital world, we often curate a version of ourselves, polished, refined, and at times far from reality. This virtual self, shaped by likes, comments, and shares, may bear stark contrast to who we are when the screens go dark. Yet in other cases, our online presence serves as an extension of our real-world selves, a conduit to express thoughts, ideas, and passions that we carry in our everyday lives. It's a complex dynamic, a dance between reality and virtuality, authenticity and illusion. The convergence or divergence of these identities is not a universal experience. It varies from person to person, influenced by personal choices, societal pressures, and the ever-evolving digital landscape. So we circle back to the question, are digital personas reflections or distortions of who we truly are? How much does a like define who you are? Social media platforms are more than just a way to stay connected. They have become a digital stage where we perform, curate, and present versions of ourselves to the world. The validation we seek in the form of likes, comments, and shares has a profound impact on our identity formation, self-image, and self-worth. These platforms often foster a comparative culture where we measure our worth against others' highlight reels. This constant comparison can distort our perception of ourselves, leading to a struggle between our online personas and our authentic selves. In a world where the number of followers can determine social standing, many find themselves crafting an identity to appeal to the masses rather than reflecting their true selves. The influence of social media on our identities is undeniable. It's a tool that shapes how we perceive ourselves and how we want to be perceived by others. In the quest for validation, are we losing sight of our true selves? As technology advances, so does our concept of identity. Artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and augmented reality are not just transforming our world, but also redefining our sense of self. Imagine a future where AI algorithms can predict our thoughts, desires, and decisions better than we can. What does that mean for our identity? Virtual reality allows us to step into a different persona, to live in a world of our own design. Does this enhance our sense of identity, or does it blur the lines between our real and virtual selves? And then there's augmented reality, overlaying digital images on our physical world. It's creating a hybrid reality, a fusion of the virtual and the physical. These technologies are not just tools, they're becoming extensions of ourselves, molding the way we perceive and represent ourselves. As we become more entwined with technology, we must ask ourselves, as we merge with technology, how will our identities evolve? How heavy is the weight of your digital identity? It's a question that echoes in the minds of many. In this digital age, we're not just dealing with our physical selves, but also an online persona, a curated version of us that exists in the virtual world. This constant curation of our digital identity can take a significant emotional and psychological toll. Imagine a world where every post, every like, every comment is a reflection of who you are. The pressure to maintain a perfect online image can lead to heightened anxiety and stress. And it's not just about looking good, it's about fitting in, standing out, and constantly measuring up to an often unrealistic standard set by the digital world. And what about the fear of missing out? The constant need to stay connected can lead to feelings of inadequacy and isolation. We're living in a paradox where we're more connected than ever, yet feel more alone. When the screen goes off, does the pressure linger? Who holds the keys to your digital identity? It's a question that probes into the heart of the ethics surrounding our digital lives. As we immerse ourselves deeper into the virtual world, we inevitably leave traces of ourselves scattered across the digital landscape, but who has the right to gather these fragments, to piece together our digital selves? The ethical conundrums are profound. Tech companies, in their quest to personalize and streamline our online experiences, collect and analyze our data. Yet there's a thin line between enhancing user experience and infringing upon our privacy. Are these corporations overstepping their bounds? Who should have the authority to decide what's fair game and what's not? Moreover, the responsibility of safeguarding our digital identities is a weighty one. Are tech companies doing enough to ensure the security of our data? Or are we, as users, expected to bear that burden ourselves? In the digital realm, who is responsible for safeguarding our identities? What might be the future consequences of your digital footprint today? As we stride deeper into the digital age, every click, every post, every search leaves a mark. These marks, these footprints are more than ephemeral traces. They are stepping stones into our future, building a path that can be followed, analyzed, and judged. Imagine a world where your digital past is as scrutinized as your real-world actions. A world where your job prospects hinge not just on your resume, but also on your social media history. Where relationships are influenced by your online persona and societal perceptions are shaped by your digital interactions. This isn't a dystopian future, it's a reality we're stepping into. Our digital footprints are becoming our legacies, etched in the vast expanse of the internet. They can open doors or slam them shut, so we must tread carefully, mindful of the marks we leave behind. Our digital footprints, are they stepping stones or stumbling blocks? How do we remain true to ourselves in a world that encourages idealized projections? This is a question we all grapple with in our hyper-connected society. As we navigate the digital landscapes, authenticity becomes a valuable commodity. In an era where filters and curated images often dominate, it's essential to remember that our online personas are just one facet of our identity, not the sum total. We must not lose sight of who we are beyond the screen. Maintaining authenticity means embracing our individuality, our flaws, and our unique perspectives, even when they don't fit into a perfect digital mold. Moreover, we need to practice digital mindfulness, being aware of the content we consume and create. It's about making conscious choices that align with our values, not just what earns the most likes or comments. And let's not forget about taking regular digital detoxes. Disconnecting from the online world can help us reconnect with our true selves. In the digital world, the greatest challenge might just be staying true to ourselves.